Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Um, Today is a difficult subject to talk about, to say the least. If you guys haven't been paying attention, the video of an incident, alleged incident between Diddy and Cassie, where it shows him physically assaulting her. Now, again, I'm saying alleged, but I probably shouldn't say that, right? Because I think at this point it's been proven that it was him and it was her. He's come out and apologized. We know there was a lawsuit that was settled not too long ago. So I'm just trying to figure out, what do y'all think about this, right? What do the people think about this? And particularly the black community, right? And I know people like to say, why is it always that black people, when something happens, whether good or bad, we're always asked to represent our community, right? And I don't want to play into that stereotype, but I want to give you my reasoning on why I'm asking about that. Or I'm asking the community, I should say. And the reason why I'm asking the community is, this is Diddy, right? Like, this is take that, right? This is hip hop culture. A lot of us, if you're around my age, your 30s, 40s, 20s, you grew up with this man, right? You've watched this man go from a young bad boy executive or Arista executive to becoming a mogul and owner of one of the biggest labels and most influential labels in hip hop history, right? And possibly even music history, depending on how you want to look at it. And here is this guy now apologizing for an incident that occurred and explaining that he was at his lowest and I'm in his life, right? And I'm sorry, it doesn't matter what you're going through. Nothing justifies physical abuse. Verbal abuse is bad enough, but nothing justifies physical abuse. We all go through things in life, and obviously not all things are created equal and not all people are created equal, but there's never an excuse to physically harm anyone because you're going through something, right? And I know people will also defend the fact that, hey, nobody's perfect. And I agree. Nobody is perfect. But we work 9 to 5s, you and I, right? Or some of you, you might be an entrepreneur, but you work, right? You don't have unlimited time and day to seek counsel, to get help, especially not the help that some of us need. He does. And that's what I want people to understand. This is an individual who is able to get help. He can afford help. And he has the one resource that most of us lack, and that's time. We don't have time. So not only do we have to be able to afford the help, we have to set time to get the help. We have to set time for ourselves and times for our families. And that's not what we have. And that's what he has a lot of. And he failed to utilize that to exercise those demons and whatever was putting him in that low point. Well, this to me is a stain on our culture. And we already knew, and there were speculations that he was, or he has had some shady business dealings, right? But we know business is cutthroat, right? So you can't really chastise him for that. Business is business, and we all know very few people do honest business, and everybody who's in business is in the business of profit, right? So they do whatever they have to do to maximize their profits. And I believe that's what Diddy did. That's how he learned. That's how it's taught. But this is different, right? This is abuse. This is personal, right? This is a woman that he was allegedly, I guess dating or whatever. I don't know their ins and outs and the their relationship, because I'm not there, right? We're all outsiders. We have no idea what their relationship is. And if you saw some of the horrific things that was said during the court time, wow, if those things were true. And I hope for his sake and her sake they weren't. But there's no denying what we saw on that video. And there's no denying the apology that he gave, right? Was it sincere? Possibly. The incident happened in 2016. We also need to hold the hotel accountable for why was this withheld for so long, right? And I know people are going to say, either he paid the hotel to withhold the surveillance footage, or, someone he's involved with, or the conspiracy theories are going to come out of the window, or the woodwork, I should say, and it's this and that, and it's because he's affiliated with this, and I'm not going to get into all of that. The hotel needs to be held responsible and accountable as well. And there needs to be an investigation on why this was withheld. I understand the case is closed, and I don't believe they're pursuing any legal action or criminal action against Diddy, because obviously he and her settled their case. But someone needs to look into the hotel and all these businesses as to why you withheld this for so long. Now, the business is going to say, we're in the business of making profits. And if we out this celebrity, well, what celebrity is going to stay at our hotel now, right? They're not going to want to stay here. They're going to say that hotel is a snitch, right? And that's the system and the unfortunate perpetual circle we live in, right? When everybody is trying to gain profits, where do the morals play in profits, right? Usually there are no morals, and there is no moral code. So I started this by saying, what does the Black community feel about this? And the reason why I care about the Black community's opinion is because this is one of our own. This, to some people's, and some people's opinion, is one of the most successful Black individuals. Understand that Black people, and I don't want to create a debate where people say, I make money and I'm doing my thing. I get that. But as a whole, we own less than 1% of this country's wealth. And this country, I mean America. So as a whole, we're not good. As individuals, we have some super successful, hyper successful individuals and families. But as a whole, we own less than 1% of this country's wealth. So this is not an economics topic or debate, but what this is we're not doing well enough to ignore when a prominent figure in our community makes mistakes. And I know people like to say all the time, especially Black folks, why are we always calling out our own? Well, we should call out our own, just like we should protect our own. But there is no protecting what he did. There is no protecting the hotel for withholding this incident. But as a community, at some point, we got to say, where is our code of conduct? Where are we as a community going to hold each other accountable and say, this is just not how we're supposed to conduct ourselves anymore? Not from the poorest to the wealthiest. At some point, we have to understand that we have to stop glorifying behaviors and put a stop to it, right? I'm at a loss for words because it's just so frustrating, because it's like enough is enough. It's 2024. We're at the midway point of 2024. When, as a people, are we going to say, this is not how we operate? Because you guys can say this is just one person and one person doesn't dictate the entire culture and community. That would be true if we were the majority. That would be true if we own most of the wealth. Then you're right. It doesn't matter what one person does, because we control the narrative. We control the media. We control the money. We control the businesses. So it doesn't matter what one individual, two individuals, three individuals do, because we spin the story how we want. We tell the narrative of our people the way we want, but unfortunately, we're not in that position, and therefore we have outsiders telling our story. And what story you think they're going to tell? Not the success stories. Not the people who are going to attack this and say, I'm doing good, I don't do stuff like that. They're not going to talk about you. They're not going to represent our culture based on you. They're going to represent our culture when our most prominent, quote unquote, figures make mistakes. I love hip hop. I grew up on hip hop, right? But I understand that when you glorify certain behaviors and personas, it's hard to turn that off. Right? But at some point, we have to have a code of conduct to say, okay, it's music, it's art, but we can't imitate our art. Art imitates life. We cannot imitate our art any longer. This is a guy who promoted himself as, I could do anything, nothing can stop me. And this is how he acted. This is a hotel. A public hotel, privately owned, but it's a hotel. And he had no problem running through the hotel with a towel and assaulting a woman like it was nothing. Think about this. Most crimes are committed at night or, not in plain sight. This man has such little regard for the law, for this woman, for the public, that he just said, I could do this because that is his persona. I understand that he was at a low and he was whatever he was going through, it doesn't matter. This is his persona. This is who he has always portrayed himself as, and this is how he acted. I could do whatever I want and I could get away with it. And he did. For 8 years, he got away with it. And finally, this woman got the courage enough to say something and tell her story. And now you got other women telling stories. And I'm not going to get into the other women. We're going to get into this one because we saw the video. We know there was a court case and we know that case was settled. And we have his apology. As a community, do we accept his apology? Black people are forgiven. We're the most forgiving people on this planet. We've forgiven our colonizers. But don't forget if you want to forgive. There's nothing wrong with forgiveness. But don't forget it. And when you're remembering, make sure that you're putting practices in place to do better. Again, where is our respect and code of conduct for one another, for women, for society? You guys think that if you don't have respect for yourself and you don't have respect for your family and you don't have respect for your friends, that you're going to have respect for a stranger? Absolutely not. When people have no issue committing crimes, embarrassing themselves and embarrassing their family members, they don't care about strangers. They don't care about public opinion. None of those things matter to them because they only care about themselves. And we got to do better as a community so that we could do better as a people. And the better we do, the better this country will be. I always tell my wife this. I say a lot of the problems in America today is because the Black community is down and not up. When we were up, this country was up. Because we're the pillars of this country. We helped build this country. When we're down as a people, this country is down. You could blame politics, you could blame economics, you could blame anything, but it starts with people. And when the people get up and make a difference and change things, everything else improves. Everything starts with people. And the people are down in this country, and our community is down, and we need to get up. And we do need to condemn this type of behavior and all negative behavior. And we need to, again, establish a code of conduct and a code of respect that this is how we conduct ourselves. And we're not perfect, and we're going to make mistakes. And I'm going to make mistakes, and you're going to make mistakes, and that is fine. But there are still lines that you do not cross. And breaking the law and assaulting people is one of them. To think that you have such little remorse for another individual that you are willing to hurt them, not out of defense, not to protect your loved ones, not to protect your livelihood or your property, but just because you're mad and you're in a low point in your life that you want to hurt another person. Come on. We got to do better than that. We're better than that anyway. And I'm going to say that here. We're better than that. We're better than this. And he should have been better. And I don't want to hear not to call out Black. We do need to call him out. We do need to say, hey, we ain't dancing to your music. We're not buying your music. We're not celebrating you until you get right. And you do right by people. And you do right by yourself and your family. That's when we'll support you again. That's the mindset we got to have. If people do right by others, support them. But we got to stop supporting the negativity. We got to stop embracing the negativity. We got to stop imitating the art. Tell me what you guys think. Leave your comments below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you want to hear more, subscribe, click the notification bell. And as always, take care of your mind, take care of your body, and take care of each other. That's all we got. Peace.